And here is the Writer's Almanac for Monday, the 20th of May, 2019. It's the anniversary of blue jeans. It was on this day, 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis got a patent for work pants reinforced with metal rivets. The story of blue jeans goes back much farther, 500 years ago or so, in the city of Genoa. A special thick cloth was used to make pants for fishermen and sailors. The French called the pants bleu de Genèse, or blue of Genoa, and from that term bleu de Genèse came the word blue jeans. But the fabric that Levi Strauss used was serge. It came from the city of Nimes in France, and it was this serge de Nimes, or denims, that came to be called denim. Levi Strauss was an immigrant from Bavaria. His family had a dry goods business. He was 24. He'd gone to California. He saw his opportunity in the gold rush to make heavy-duty clothing for miners. Jacob Davis was a tailor from Reno, and Davis was the one who had the idea of reinforcing the pants with metal rivets at their weak points so the pockets would not rip. They patented the idea on this day in 1873, and the pants were very popular among laborers. It was not until the 1920s that they became a sort of artistic statement. Members of the Santa Fe Artists Colony started wearing blue jeans. And then in the 1930s, Hollywood westerns portrayed cowboys in blue jeans. And in the 1950s, blue jeans became a teenage status symbol. James Dean wore a pair in the movie Rebel Without a Cause. Jack Kerouac wore blue jeans and work shirts as early as the 1940s. And by the late 1950s, jeans became the outfit of choice for bohemians of all sorts, preferably with a black turtleneck and sandals. And by the late 1960s, bell-bottoms came in, and so forth. It was John Grisham who said, "Writers can wear anything. I could go to a black-tie dinner in New York City with blue jeans on and boots and a cowboy hat and a bow tie, and people would just say, oh, he's a writer." 1609, on this day, Shakespeare's sonnets were first published, most likely without his permission, a book of 154 sonnets, all but two of which had never been published before, including the sonnet, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor loose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. As long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee." It was on this day, 1927, 7:52 in the morning, Charles Lindbergh set off from Roosevelt Field in Long Island on the first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic aboard the Spirit of St. Louis. Here's a poem by Marjorie Sizer, "My Notes in Margins." My notes in margins along the edges of the text, the ink I've left. Who did I do that for? Myself, only myself? As if to say, you will live long enough to read this page again, and you'll see what you marveled at then, and compare it to how you feel now. The dust of the comet's tail coming around in orbit again, an intersection. What was meets what is, and for a second shines. Poem by Marjorie Sizer, My Notes in Margins, from The Woman in the Moon, published by Backwaters Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.